Carleah, my first time meeting you, Andrea's house.
Yep.
I heard about Andrea's house on social at some point. Might have been Will Bird.
Yep.
Who posted
Yes.
something about it.
It's a great supporter.
Yeah. So tell me about Andrea's house, the organization, and then we're going to talk about the house itself.
Sure. So the organization I founded in March 2019, and I started this organization because I'm in sobriety myself. So I have 18 years of sobriety, and I got sober when my son was 10 months old. And I wanted to create an environment where mothers could remain with their children instead of having them removed while they're recovering. We know that when families are split up like that, they often don't get back together. It causes a lot of trauma. I personally have experienced that in my own family. My biological father is still drug addicted, and which resulted in me having to adopt my youngest sibling and a lot of chaos in our family growing up. So this is really important for me to be able to keep families together and give them that component.
Yeah, and I think when anybody is going through tough situations, having something that they know, trust, the love there, it's going to help heal those wounds, I think, in a faster way.
Exactly.
So your journey with your son, how is he now?
So it's incredible because I'm so blessed. I have such a great child. He's 19 years old now. He's at Salisbury University studying to be a elementary school teacher. And so he's doing so well. He's so bright, and he's just, you know, we grew up together.
Yeah.
That's what I say. We grew up together essentially, and it's nice to see the fruits of our labor paying off. So
well, congratulations on
Thank
18
you.
years.
Thank you.
That's, I know, a tough journey for anyone.
Yeah.
And the fact that you were able to give this gift to other mothers.
Yes.
So you started this in 2019. As you were thinking about this, where were you going to do it? And how did that come about?
I knew I always wanted it to be in Frederick because this is where I got my sobriety. This is the community that poured back into my life and that gave me so much when I had nothing. And so I knew I wanted to do it here. When I started the house, I figured, hey, we'll help a few moms, and you know, I just wanted to help somebody. And the program has expanded so tremendously that we've been on a waiting list for over 18 months now, and we are looking at expanding the program to a bigger facility because it's grown tremendously.
So since 2019, how many moms have you had?
So we have currently helped 82.
Whoa.
Yeah, we've helped 82 families over the last 5 years. And, you know, it again is a blessing we've even made it this far because COVID hit 3 months after we opened.
Yeah.
So that was very, very tough. We expanded with houses because the need was so great. And then one thing we learned was Andrea's house can't have multiple houses. We need to be able to give our undivided attention to one house. It did not work when we tried to multiply the houses. It wasn't, we were splitting our time between 3 houses, and it just was not beneficial to the women or their children.
Gotcha. Okay, so when a mom comes in with her kids, what do you guys facilitate programming, or do you work with other organizations? How does that work?
So what we do is we do not take referrals off of the street, but we do take referrals from treatment centers, from jails, prisons, IOPs, PHPs, any type of intensive program. And the counselors or social worker will make the referral to us. We also work with CPS and foster care, so we will also get referrals from them as well. And what we do is we have an application process, and then D reviews the application and decides if this person is appropriate for this program or not. That's based off medications, it's based off need, how many children do they have, are they pending a CPS case, that is always a high priority, meaning if they don't complete a program, they could lose custody of their
Right,
child.
right.
So it's a lot of things that go into making that decision, and it's tough sometimes.
Of course, because
Yeah.
I'm sure you have to say no sometimes
Exactly,
to people
and that's
that
very
might be their
hard.
last.
And we don't have a lot of referral sources, so we know that when we have to tell someone no,
Yeah.
they may end up not having anywhere to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many moms live in the house at one time?
So we have 7 moms here.
Okay.
And we can take up to 7 children. And so we found that that's enough.
Yeah.
Anything more than that becomes very chaotic. And
Yeah.
so it's a good number. It's a good balance. And they operate as a family. They cook together. They do family dinners and things like that. Go to meetings together. And so they're really learning how to be moms and sober together.
Yeah. And I guess that support would be wonderful because you're
Absolutely.
with people who understand and appreciate and support. And you have a little bit of somebody to cheer you on
Exactly.
and get you through those rough times. I'm sure it
Exactly.
is. What's the average stay?
So we're working on this because a lot of times they come and they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
They get a
don't
little
blame
too
ya.
comfortable. So we're going to cap it at a year. Before
Okay.
we haven't had time frames, but we know that once they hit a year, they're typically ready to go out there. Whether they want to go or not,
Right.
they are ready to go
Right.
out. So
Yeah.
we're looking at about a year.
Yeah. So as a nonprofit, you need money in
Yes.
order to keep this going.
That's right.
Cover expenses
Yep.
of the home and everything else. What type of fundraising do you do, and how can Frederick support you?
Sure. So we have a gala that we have in April. We will have another one next year that will be at the Delaplane Arts Center. And then we have a barbecue bash coming up in September that will be held at the Brunswick Fire Department.
Okay.
So what we try to do is we do a fancy one, and then we do one where anybody and everybody could come and have a good time. And so we try to incorporate everybody, but it is vital that we have people participate and sponsor. And that's not just individual donations, but businesses and organizations that pour in churches that pour into our organization so much.
Yeah. If there was one thing that you wanted people of Frederick to know about Andrea's house, if they walked away with one idea, what would that be?
The one idea I want people to know is that this program is really about keeping families together. There are a million ways to tear a family apart and very few to keep them together. So that is what we focus on, is being able to keep families together.
Yeah. And have you had any people come back? So 2019, you've had 5 years or so of people coming through. Have you kept in touch with some?
Absolutely. Whether we want to or not, we end up
They
keeping
say,
in touch.
I want to
with
come
them.
back.
Yes,
I
and
need-
sometimes they need to come back, and
Yeah.
we have a thing. We keep that door open
Yeah.
because we know that relapse is a part of some people's story, and we don't want to be here. We're not a place of judgment.
Of
We
course.
welcome them back, and we assist however we can.
Yeah. Now you grew up in Frederick.
I did.
Yeah.
I
So
did.
do you have a big family?
I don't have a big family because my family is originally from DC. I don't have a big base here, but
Yeah.
my core family is here,
Oh,
which
I
is
love it.
awesome. And I went to school here, and so
Yeah.
it is amazing to be able to give back to the community and then work with people that I've also grown up with.
Now you shared with me that this was your childhood home.
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
weird for you to see it in this way, or is it very? It's like a blessing.
It is. You know, I had a lot of hard memories in this house, and to see it being turned and used for something good is very rewarding to me and makes me very happy.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, Carleah is the founder and executive director of Andrea's House, and we'll share the website with you. Support them. Go to the galas, go to the barbecues, help them keep these families together, because we all know that the children of parents, when they're pulled apart in any way, it's detrimental to them. And
Absolutely.
so we don't want them to need anything more than the love that they have with their moms while they're getting healthy. And that's
That's right.
great. That's
That's right.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danny.